welcome to the Collegian News. I'm Melissa Ramirez.
And I'm Clady Quesada.
The papers and personal artifacts of the late Judge Reynaldo G. Garza have been dedicated to UTB TSC. Irma Mora has the details.
Family and friends of Judge Reynaldo G. Garza witnessed the unveiling of the collection April 8th at the Arnolfo L. Oliveira Memorial Library. Garza died in 2004 at age 89. Friends and family remember him as a great storyteller who had a love for life.
He was one of the best storytellers that I've ever known. And all of you who knew him knew that he could tell a story. And if this collection contains any of that ability to tell a story, it is worth its weight in gold. His writing, if it is half what his speaking ability was, his personal papers, those letters, they are worth reading over and over again. The community and the university have gained a tremendous asset.
Reynaldo G. Garza Jr. talked about the significance of his father's accomplishment and President Kennedy's decision to appoint him as a federal judge.
When President Kennedy chose him to be the first federal judge of Mexican ancestry, he chose the right person. The wrong person could have been a disaster for the Hispanic community. My father was the right person for that great honor. And I'm glad and proud that his collection is here, at an institution of higher learning, a place where my father would want it to be.
UTB TSC President Juliet V. Garcia accepted the collection as Garza Jr. passed it on to the university to keep and preserve along 9 other permanent collections of historic papers the university already houses.
On behalf of the University of Texas at Brownsville, I would like to accept the Judge Reynaldo G. Garza collection. I thank you for the trust that you have put in us to oversee and preserve this historical anthology.
Garcia recognized junior special education major Celina Duran as the 2010-2011 Honorable and Mrs. Reynaldo G. Garza Scholarship recipient. Duran was awarded $1,000 to help pay for her education. For the Collegiate News, this is Irma Mora.
La segunda Feria de Artesanías Mexicanas se llevó a cabo en Brownsville, Harlingen y la Isla del Padre Sur. Héctor Aguilar nos informa.
Varios artesanos de 15 estados de México vienen a traer sus representaciones artísticas al sur de Texas, en Brownsville y Harlingen. Entre los visitantes a la feria se encontraban artesanos oaxaqueños y la directora del Instituto Oaxaqueño de las Artesanías, Gloria Martínez López.
Bueno, el Instituto Oaxaqueño es un instituto descentralizado que depende del gobierno de Oaxaca. Apoyamos directamente en capacitación, comercialización, financiamientos a los artesanos.
Vengo en representación del estado de Oaxaca, representando las 8 regiones del estado, con artesanías de textiles, madera, hoja de lata, filigrana, que es la joyería, y mi trabajo en particular es el arte de reciclar.
Abigail Mendoza, también artesana oaxaqueña, trabaja por medio del telar de cintura en un proceso llamado labrado de urdimbre.
Cintura, pero bueno, mi herramienta principal de acá es el peine y de acá tengo unos hilos movibles y unos fijos. Los movibles van haciendo el cambio, entonces va amarrado hacia un poste, un pilar, un árbol, y ya de ahí esto lo tengo que acomodar hacia la cintura, que es donde voy a sostener el telar, y de acá es donde voy a empezar a tejer y hacer el diseño. Voy a levantar y aplastar hilos que yo no necesito.
Mariano González, artesano de tapetes en Oaxaca, también usa tintes naturales para sus piezas.
La lana lo pintamos con colores, con cáscara de nuez, con colores cochinilla de lo que se da en el nopal y con azul índigo.
Adriana García Ramírez, artesana de Guadalajara, pinta cuadros inspirados en la naturaleza a los que después le borda los detalles. La feria empezó en la Isla del Padre, prosiguió a Brownsville y terminará hoy en el Museo de Arte e Historia de Harlingen. Para mayores informes, contacta al Consulado de México al 542-2051. Para el Collegian, soy Héctor Aguilar.
UTB TSC President Juliet V. Garcia spoke to the Student Government Association about moving forward without Texas Southmost College. Clary Quesada was there.
On November 1st, 1991, the partnership between the University of Texas at Brownsville and Texas Southmost College began. In 2008, the TSC district tried to collect $10.8 million in lease payments from the state for buildings it leased to UT Brownsville. University officials agreed that the partnership no longer reflected how the institution was being operated.
It was a wild moment in the legislature. Imagine that. And I don't know what it was, bravado or testosterone, excuse me, or something, that somebody decided, well, it's not owned by the state of Texas, it's owned by UT system. Well, that's not accurate. It's always been owned by the state of Texas. Always that money comes, all the rent money has always come from the state of Texas.
Then, on August 26, Trustee Francisco Kiko Rendon was elected chairman for the TSC board. Also sworn in were Trustees Trey Mendez and Dr. Robert Lozano. After they were elected, the board held 11 meetings in which Garcia says administrators educated the newly elected members about the partnership agreement.
And so it started not to feel quite right in those meetings. There was a lot of questions, questioning data. We said, well, this is the right data. It's been audited. And they said, we don't trust the data. I said, well, it's been audited. That means it's good data. And they said, well, we don't trust the auditors. And I would say, they're TSC auditors. Talk to your own auditors because it's good data. And so it got a little uncomfortable, to say the least.
On February 17, the TSC Board of Trustees voted 4-3 to have UTB-TSC become two autonomous institutions with separate governance and contracts for facilities and certain staff services.
It's going to get really crazy here for a while. Who owns buildings? Well, UT Brownsville built SETI, UT Brownsville built LHS, UT Brownsville built EDBC, and UT Brownsville built the RAC, and UT Brownsville is now building the biomedical research building. So UT Brownsville actually owns almost as much buildings as TSC does. There are fewer buildings, but they're big buildings.
She described the partnership between the institutions as complicated.
To say it, it is complicated. So a lot of work is going to get done, unfortunately, in starting to, what is yours, what is mine? How much do I owe you? How much do you owe? I'm going to look forward, and I'm going to build a university. And it's going to be a very good university. And we owe that. We owe that to the people that are here. We owe it to our community. And so that is what I have to do. I have to leave behind what happened and go forward. I wish I could undo a lot of things, you know, and we try to. We all try. A lot of people try. Is there something more to be tried? That's a very important question. Not by me.
For the Collegian News, I'm Clady Quesada.